And he said, look, I've shown that I can dominate. Now I'm going to show that I'm a finisher. And that's scary. When Kamaru Usman is saying, not only am I going to dominate, I'm going to dominate and finish, watch out, because it's going to be really hard to beat him. What's up, Barnhill family? Welcome back to the channel.
Yo.
Guys, if you're new here, we talk about all things combat sports. So if you like that stuff, we always appreciate a like, comment, and of course, a subscribe. So Nick, we have an excellent main event this week at UFC 261. It's going to be the first time that fans have been back in the crowd, Jacksonville, Florida, at the ViStar Arena. 3 title fights, and all capped off by just an incredible main event, the rematch between Jorge Masvidal, the guy that stepped in on 6 days' notice to save the title fight in Abu Dhabi. He's getting his second crack at Kamaru Usman, a guy who, quite frankly, has looked like maybe the most complete martial artist in the world right now.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's number one for me, and the UFC certainly knows how to welcome back the fans in a big way. 3 title fights, you can't really beat that. And for the amount of time we've all had to wait for big shows and really just going to shows in general, unless you're one of those select few people that got to go to Fight Island and enjoy some fights or get to go into the Apex.
Unless you had $100,000 for a ticket and, you know, some connections in Abu Dhabi.
Right.
You watched it on TV like the rest of us.
Exactly. So I think the fans are going to be super electric. I think this is going to be one of the shows where the fans affect the fighters and everything, not in a negative way, but in a positive way, more than almost ever before. Because, you know, we took it for granted just being able to go to the shows for the last 260 UFCs or 250 or whatever. But now that they've taken some of that away from us, we've just been clamoring for a show. And this one really just speaks like volumes as to how the UFC wanted to come back into the public eye, into literally people's faces, like right in front of them. And I think these are 3 of the best title fights that the UFC has booked right now.
No doubt. This is going to be, Jacksonville is really going to show up. I mean, they sold out in minutes. They're coming to Houston next. They're coming here. They sold out in minutes. Obviously, Vegas was announced. That's coming in the summer with Conor and Dustin, the trilogy there. Dana White said that sold out in seconds. Yeah. So we're measuring the sellouts not in minutes, but seconds now.
Right.
That's how excited all of us MMA fans are for fans returning back to the stands.
Yeah, and you know, it's really cool with this one. We've got probably, in my opinion, the most skilled all-around MMA fighter on the planet and champion right now in Kamaru Usman fighting. And then we have the most skilled all-around best female on the planet, Valentina Shevchenko. Yeah. And you know, there's a talk for Nunes right now being the greatest of all time. But I think when you go skill for skill and the depth of the fights that Valentina has to go through, it's a little bit tougher than what Nunes has been going through lately. So
certainly at 145, I would agree for sure.
I said it a while back, 25 for the women is going to become the most dominant division, because I felt when there was 15 and 35, there was a lot of women that couldn't quite make 15, so they had to bump to 35, and a lot of women that were, you know, undersized or too big for 15, so they had to jump up. And it's just one of those things where 25 seems to be like the right size for the most amount of women on the planet. And I feel like this division's only going to keep getting thicker.
Yeah, and I feel like Valentina's certainly one of those women that was competing at 35 just because there was no 25, and she certainly found her home. For sure. But just talking about this main event, Jorge Masvidal, Valentina is a minus 400 favorite, sorry. The only person on the card with a bigger favorite status is Kamaru Usman. He's a minus 420 favorite. Masvidal is a plus 330 underdog. So the odds makers and the people that are betting on this fight sort of see it going the same way the first fight did. Even though Jorge was on 6 days' notice, Mike Brown said it was not a skill issue. It was not the ability to beat Kamaru issue. It was just simply a conditioning issue. When you have somebody who is, you know, not prepared for a 5-round fight, jumping into a 5-round fight with somebody who's got a gas tank like Kamaru Usman, it can go south for them and they can end up gassing out and losing rounds. I'm not sure that I agree 100%. I hear what Mike is saying. I'm not sure I agree 100% that that's what happened the first time. It kind of looked like a domination in all aspects of the fight for Kamaru. I'm sort of leaning towards Kamaru winning this fight again. Trevor Whitman came out and said as much that, you know, the first time we got a new opponent on 6 days' notice, it was difficult for Jorge to step in on 6 days, but at the same time, it was difficult for us as the championship corner to say, yes, we will accept this risk. We will accept this unknown, and we will take the fight. And so there is some element of danger there as well. So we said, what's the game plan guaranteed to get us a win against Jorge? And he said we went out and we executed that game plan. This time he's looking to level up, and he's calling for a finish this time. He said Kamaru is going to get Jorge out of there. He will not be standing on his own 2 feet at the end of 25 minutes.
Yeah, and I kind of see it going that way. You know, the only reason I see this one being the biggest favorite in Kamaru Usman is because we've seen this fight before. We haven't seen the other 2 championship bouts. We haven't seen those fighters fight each other. We know what Usman's going to do, and we know what Masvidal is going to do. And when you're arguably the biggest star in the sport right now in Jorge Masvidal, I have a hard time believing that you're just coming off the couch on 6 days' notice. You're training. You're in your gym, ATT, with the best fighters on the planet, day in and day out. Yeah, you might be a little bit heavier than you are during a regular 10-week or 12-week fight camp, but you're still training twice a day. You're still getting your runs in. If you're taking it seriously, which obviously Jorge Masvidal is, he's one of the biggest names in the sport. So while I do think that was a great caked-in excuse for them to use, and it works, and it definitely worked to get him the rematch, I don't know if it's going to play near as big of a factor as he maybe is making it out to. And I just feel like Usman knows exactly how to beat him. Usman's not one of those guys that's trying to get like crazy jump off the wall knockouts and do things that are just blowing people away. He's trying to literally like break fighters down.
Yeah, so that you never want to fight him again.
Right, exactly. You beat him so bad that you don't even – nobody's trying to see a rematch, and not even the opponent that got beat down so bad wants to fight him again. And I just feel like that's what's going to happen. And the greatness of Kamaru Usman is going to come over a long stretch of time where he does that over and over and over again to everybody, rather than he does some amazing things, but he's always in firefights. No, he's just always better than you. He's going to beat everybody 4 rounds to 1 or 5 rounds to none, or he's just going to really dismantle these guys. And I honestly just think that the odds makers have this one right. And while I love Jorge Masvidal, he's always got a crazy chance to finish a fight. I think Usman's going to get it done. I think he's going to get it done in less than 25 minutes.
Yeah, I'm predicting Usman to win this one by technical knockout as well. I'm going to call it in the 3rd round. When I sort of make predictions like this and think through how I see fights going, and I look at an underdog as big as Masvidal, the numbers don't always they kind of influence my decision, but they don't make my decision, if that makes sense. I sit and think, okay, Jorge's a big underdog. How can Jorge get this done? What set of circumstances need to happen in order for Masvidal to beat Usman? Usman has proven that he's got not only some of the best skills in the game, but an absolute granite chin. Gilbert Burns hits like a Mack truck. Gilbert Burns had Jorge hurt in the first, had Usman hurt in the first round, and Usman was able to immediately regain his composure and then hurt Burns. So I don't think that Jorge, if I'm being honest, is going to have the power or land the shot that's going to knock Usman unconscious. Usman is obviously the stronger of the 2 fighters. He's obviously the better grappler. He's got the better clinch work against the cage. He's known to exhaust his opponents against the cage. He landed some really nice short elbows in the first fight. I'm looking to see some more of those. And I kind of see this being a smothering of Masvidal. I don't think Masvidal is going to submit Usman. I don't think anybody thinks that. I don't think Masvidal is going to get the better of the cage clinch exchanges. I don't think anybody would really think that. Maybe he lands some short shots, some elbows, some knees that turns the tide a bit, but I don't really see it happening. I see Usman cruising to a 3rd round technical knockout. And he even said, look, I've shown in my career that I can dominate fighters from start to finish. And I'm getting better. And Whitman said, this is a guy who's still on the way up. He's not even reached the peak, let alone start to come down the back end. This is a guy who's still on his way up as far as skill development goes. Trevor Whitman's trained a lot of champions. I take him at his word when he says that. So I truly believe that Kamaru, we haven't even seen the best evolution of him yet. And he said, look, I've shown that I can dominate. Now I'm going to show that I'm a finisher. And that's scary. When Kamaru Usman is saying, not only am I going to dominate, I'm going to dominate and finish, watch out, because it's going to be really hard to beat him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. And, Usman's one of those guys that feels out his opponent and does something that seems like he rides at the same pace or just a little bit above where the opponent comes out at. And he'll let his opponent dictate the pace of the fight. Like Gilbert Burns came out on fire.
Yeah.
So Usman goes, okay, that's the pace we're rolling at. Let's do it. And the fight finished quickly, because if you go at 100% with Usman, the fight's going to last 10 minutes. If you pace yourself and go 75% for the beginning of the fight, he's going to go 75, 80%.
Yep.
And then, that'll last 20 minutes or so. You saw that with like the Colby Covington fight. They were both trading back and forth, but leaving a little bit of gas in the tank. I think that Masvidal is going to come out like a banshee. He's going to come out trying to take Usman's head off, which is going to level Usman's speed up to the 10 that he's at. And I think we're going to see second round finish, because Masvidal is very hard to finish. So we're going to see a technical knockout. I don't think he's going to sleep him with a single shot KO. But if you turn it up on Usman, he's going to turn it up to the level you're at and then overwhelm you by going above and beyond the level that you just presented him with. And, obviously Masvidal has the best knockout in UFC history, or one of them for sure, with the knee over Ben Askren. But he's going to need to do something kind of like that. Something with the element of surprise, something spectacular to get Usman out.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to do it really early, or, he's just going to get worn down, and then he's going to be a slower, more tired, more beat down version of himself come rounds 3, 4, and 5. If he paces himself out, which that's what I don't see him doing. I see him coming in hot. I see Usman returning hot, and I think he's going to get the finish in about the second round.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick third round, but I finish nonetheless. I will throw one little monkey wrench in this. Rose Namajunas, the teammate of Kamaru Usman and Trevor Whitman's pupil as well, is the co-main event. Right. So I know Justin Gaethje is going out there, and him and Kamaru are big-time training partners. They've formed a very close friendship over the last couple of training camps. Trevor's got to focus on Rose when it's Rose's time to fight.
Yeah.
Let's say she gets knocked out by Zhang, which is a real possibility. I think we at least have to consider that. Trevor Whitman is going to be rushed kind of in between the two fights. I wish they would have done that. I wish they would have had Valentina and Andrade as the co-main, so that Trevor Whitman could have gotten back and properly warmed up Kamaru how he would have liked to. That's a little something that's a talking point, and I'll leave it at a talking point because Kamaru is as professional as they come.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to make a difference as far as the outcome of the fight goes, but it's something to talk about nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't think Kamaru needs Trevor Whitman to hold his hand from the time they get to the arena until the time that he walks out for his fight. But it is an odd feeling to have your coach not with you in the final 25 minutes before you walk out there and take your shirt off. So while he has great company with him, he's not going to have that head coach, that head figure,
calming
figure.
Justin Gaethje's a lot of things, but he's not a calming figure.
Yeah, I'm sure he's great to have sitting there with you, but you can't replace somebody like Trevor Whitman. So I am interested to see if that has any sort of effect. I'm not willing to invest in it too much into thinking that it's going to change the outcome of this fight or anything like that, but it is. I would say besides the fighters, Trevor Whitman has the hardest job on Saturday night at the UFC.
He's definitely got his work cut out for him.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks so much for watching our video. Obviously, we both think Usman's going to get the job done. He's going to get it done by technical knockout. Do you guys agree? We always love debating back and forth in the comments, so drop us a line and let us know. Can Jorge Masvidal get it done, and if so, how? Thanks so much, guys, for watching our video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us out. And check us out on audio where you listen to those podcasts. Until the next one, have a great day.
Peace.